Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to say thank you for the opportunity to do my presentation today. Before we start the presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is Anggriawan Oktobisono, and on this occasion, I would like to present my thesis about the effect of training and competency to employee performance through motivation as a mediating variable. And this is my promoter advisor, Dr. Hendrik. So MM, and my promoter two is my second promoter is Professor Dr. Tesis Celia MSc. And the background of the problem, and the real competition human resource or HR program is an important part of the effort to realize the sustainable oil industry because 30% to 40% of unproductive crops can no longer be harvested. So it requires a workforce that can manage and regrow in a more sophisticated and modern way and overcome limited human resource. So that this plantation can be managed in a more modern way and must overcome limitation of human resource. Then this is the oil palm area for all province in Indonesia. There is 8 million, or in Indonesia, like 16 million hectare are. As explained by Goldfield, there are several factors that affect individual results or depending on variables such as employee performance and organizational commitment. And there namely organizational mechanisms such as organizational culture and organizational structure, and group mechanisms such as leadership and team, and individual characteristics such as abilities and personalities, and cultural values which result in individual mechanisms such as job satisfaction, work stress, motivation, trust, and decision making. So it is said that training and competence enter into the ability of an employee that affects motivation and values employee performance itself, where the cognitive ability of a person has a strong correlation to employee performance compared to organizational commitment, which has a low level of correlation. Before we start to study, maybe I will introduce the PT Triputra Agro Persada, and can be namely PTTIP, is one of the largest oil palm plantation companies in Indonesia. PTTIP has been listed on the Singapore Stock Exchange since 2012 under the name Bumi Tanah Agro Ltd, Portugal or CPO and palm kernel oil until 2023, and PTTAP has 18 palm oil mills in 3 provinces in Indonesia like Kalimantan, Jambi, and West Java, with an area of 159,000 hectare area and has more than 15,000 employees, where one area covers 1,500 hectare area with the number of employees reaching 500 to 800 employees. The result of performance appraisal of PTKP can be seen from table 143 above, which shown that some employees still need improvement to achieve performance in MA or meeting expectation, and the found data above, especially in the field assistant section, is the known that there are still many employees who still have not achieved performance by 54% or a total of 81 people. which is an increase in employee who need performance improvement from 2022 and 2023 from the number of field assistants mentioned above. The workers are divided into three grades, namely grade A, grade B, and grade C. Grade A employees are employees who have exceeded expectation and extraordinary achievement, and grade B employees who have met expectation, and grade C employee who have not been assessed and will need improvement. Okay, and you can see the result from training, competence, and motivation. And this is the promotion, the problem in this study. Like, is training influential to motivation 28 employees? Two, is competent influence to performance with motivation 28 employees? And this is of objective study on this study. And this is the benefit of the research. Like, so written is increased understanding to connection between training and competence with performance employee. And practical is provide recommendation for company increase effectiveness program training and development employee. And this is the theoretical review. And this and this is the employee performance theory from Edison Daya Silvan. And according to ahli, employee performance can be synthesized that employee performance is factor, main factor in which that progress objective is the main factor in achieving in the progress and goals of company that will be achieved by an employee in carrying out his duty in accordance with the responsibility given to him by considering quantity, quality, and timeless. And this is the indicator of employee performance you can see in this presentation. We have four dimensions like quality, quantity, responsibility, and tax. And this is the theory of training from this in Gorica, Revenge Segala Sukmawati Kirani. And according to Granica, Revenge Segala Sukmawati, the definition of training, it can be synthesized that training is a process of employee learning about knowledge, skill, and behavior to work at NFT, the most every career for employees of development in order to be able to produce better work developing employee for the growth and success of the organization or the company. This is the dimension of training indicators. Like, we have five dimensions, like a structure, two goals of the training. And this is not theory of competence from Spencer, Silalahi, and Wilhelm. And this is conceptual definition of competency according to Spencer, Silalahi, and Wilhelm. The definition of competency, it can be synthesized that competence is the capacity of individuals to complete a task correctly and act benefit based on knowledge, abilities, and attitudes in order to achieve effectiveness in the performance profile. Competencies are important in achieving individual and organizational performance. Competency include inherent knowledge, skill, attitude, and values that are reflected in the exercise of one thoughts and action. If employees have good competence that will work well in according their abilities, thus affecting their performance and achieving these desired goals. And this is the indicator of competency. We have three dimensions. It's like KSI, is knowledge, skill, and attitude. And the theory of motivation, according to Maslow, is particularly can be emphasized that work motivation is the providing of driving force that creates excitement in someone's work so that they will work together, work effectively, and integrate with all their effort to achieve satisfaction at work. One of the things that can influence human behavior as the enabler to act and use something to achieve optimal targets and achieving effective and satisfactory work. And this is the indicator of motivation. We have five dimensions. Is according to Abraham Maslow. The five dimension is like visual needs to visualization needs. And we have 10 indicators for every variable. And this is hypothesis, the framework hypothesis from this study. We have training for the X1, competency for the X2, motivation X2, variable, origin variable, and kinerja variable as independent variable or variable body. The research hypothesis from this study is from the influence of training can training influence motivation and creativity work employee to competence influence the performance employee through the motivation variable and creativity employees. In chapter 3, we have the research methodology. In the place of the study is strategic represent our creativity, the type of research is we use in the we use quantitative research and the population example we are use samples from assistant field of creativity and we only use purposive sampling and for the data analysis technique we are using the SAM structure equality modeling with a Likert scale and we do the analysis with the program like Amos and Asperger's. In chapter 4, result and discussion. Proper respondent profile. Then in the table above, it is known that distribution of the questionnaire was filled by 148 corresponding with the number of percentage originally 100%. In the table of gender, the detection of respondent by gender, it is known that the number of respondents with no gender amount to 157 respondents with a percentage of 93%, and female gender amount to 11 respondents with a percentage of 7%. And the data explained that the number of male employees is more dominant than the number of female employees, which can be caused by the fact that the work of field assistant is very physically and labor intensive because the work is not only for in the office, but employees are required to work directly in the field to supervise or maintain oil power plantation. From the table of age, the It is known that the number of respondents with an age interval of below 25 years is 54 respondents. The age interval 26 to 30 years is 39, and to above 40. In the rest of the data description that you can be obtained, is it known that based on age, there is no significant difference, but the most important field assistant at the age of below 25 years. This data can be stated that there is a lead generation carry out in the company PPTAP in the field assistant section as explained above that rule of a field assistant requires qualified physically skilled because it's often say that field managers report from the program activity so that they can make reports of progress of taking the one of region of area. And in the table of education, about the education of respondent based on the last education, is it now that the number of respondent is from the last education of elementary school is zero respondent, and two, the dominant respondent is last education uh, is bachelor, and the total of amount is 72 respondents. In the data on both, most of them have bachelor's degree because the job of the assistant is knowledge about mediation and management trainings. The former funding given comment to recap it for the acute area. So Mediating is not focused too much on different making skill because it must pursue the core business that company has set. And the last, the table of labor work from the about description of respondent response to the work. Is it known that the number of respondents with a long working profile of below 2 years to above 10 years Created every region much to assistant employee, and there are simple employees who have been promoted from foreman to field assistant, so that there are new employees who serve in the position of field assistant who have not even served for 2 years, and the amount of turnover in the site or field is very high. This is the indicative analysis for employee performance. For the highest indicator is for dimension quality with the item is employee is on standard quality work which has set by the company, and the lowest is from dimension quantity with item employees capable of exceed time which is, and this is the case of analysis for training variable, and this is the descriptive analysis for competence. This is the analysis descriptive from motivation. And this is the full model using the same amos. We have 4 variables and we use 10 indicators for every variable we use. And measuring of the result of each and then analyze this with the result model that can be said to be valid and the variable that conducting a test of validity and validity of data using expressed as taken from question and answer. You obtain relevant data and can obtain circumstance and similarity within different time periods. Validity and reliability testing aims to find out whether the instrument used are valid and variable against that have been determined. So the forms of parameter that can reveal something by using the questionnaire and can have similarities. The volume testing in the study used the value test and the measurable volume that conducts to comparative testing using the SPSS 26 application, and furthermore, the research test the fit model is testing the hypothesis using the step-plot question model SEM using the upper science profession. And for validity and reliability test, it's only a feasible estimate. This can be seen from the validity test by looking at the comparison of collected item total correction will be compared to the error value of the table. The error value of the number 148 respondent is 0.164 with a significance value of 0.05. The value of collected item total correction must be above of 0.164. Let's say that if the value of the item collection above 0.54 is valid or below is not valid. And after we do the validity test, the next step is that we're searching for the reliability. And for the reliability, we use the converge alpha, which is shown that the value of converge alpha is above 0.7. If the data can be named as a variable, you can see it in the table. Based on the result of the table, you can see that our indicator of indicator valid by calculation using SPSS 26, which states all valid statement with the corrected item total correction value above at 0.154, followed by another test with all the item above, knowing that converge alpha is above 0.7. Our alpha is to know that this level of technical test motivation and performance of employee safety valid and high related. The normality data test have conducted a test of validity and reliability of the data that applicably are perfectly. The research conduct a data normality test. In this data normality is the information that must be met or carried out by the researchers, naming the assumption value above 0.05 or the value must be above 0.5. If the assumption value is above 0.5, the data can be said to be normally stable. And based on the data normally test in the table 4.11, the test carried out using the normative test using the column organisms of one sample or one sample column organisms method is known that assumption value is 0.200 is above 0.5. This that can be done after studying the claim that we normalize this group. And this is the big model of this research. And this is the evaluation of goodness of it. You can see in the table that we have to searching for the standard of good index like probability, Chi-square, GFI, TLI, GFI, MC, mean, and GFI is to search the data above value and cut of value or above or below. And based on the number, based on the table or based on the data, we can reason that the Chi-square value of this study amounts to 100 or below 100, 165,000 and has probability value or can be called a p-value of 1 is above at 0.05, which means that value has reached an expected molecular value. After that, the reverse knowledge value of the GFI value is 0.925 with the next mark of TLI value is 1.162 above 0.95 and the result of the GFI is 1 is above 0.95. And furthermore, we can find out that the output of segment design is 0.42 is below it. to value, and with the value of our value is of 9830 is above 0.90. This can be concluded from the above. The above is visible that is able to be good model and responding hypothesis test. It can be seen at in the presentation. It can be seen that hypothesis in the study or the condition of this table statement is being hypothesis is all accepted because his net great potential value is above 1.96 with a significant value of below 0.05 for the basis of the technically value must have been done and brings the value from the data or the table above. This is not that hypothesis one, so hypothesis seven that all hypothesis in this study are accepted and have positive and significant influence. This is the direct effect. It can be concluded that the direct effect between training and motivation of 0.345 and for the operative variable on motivation and 0.271 followed by the direct influence of training component of 0.197 and the influence of operative performance is 0.800, which the direct influence of motivation and operative performance is 0.294. In the direct effect of this study, it can be concluded that is one indirect influence between training and motivation, and also the competition of motivation. All of the indirect influence training and one value 121, and the influence of the bond is 0.08. And total influence on this study can be concluded that is total training and motivation is 0.445 and for the competency variable is motivation of 0.471, over the income revenue performance is 0.328, and the income component development is 0.202 with the total income value of the motivation divided one variables of 219. Conclusion in the result. Yes, training has a positive and significant effect on the work motivation. Two, competence has a positive influence on the performance through motivation and the Triputra Agro Persada. And this is the implication for implication for capital implication with the actually the implication is like from the finding made by research about the performance that activated several factor which operate training and competence with these factors one. But that can be equipped with performance by creating training programs and competency that less definition of standard to increase the benefit value of value of the company so that it can increase productivity for employees of ATTAP and for the academic implementation that the finding of the result of training from this unemployed market motivation state that we there are much positive influence on employee performance and motivation could mediate between the both variable. Then the employee performance within the quantifiable only training and compare with data head next time. This research can add value in developing and improving for future research related to training competence, motivation, and performance. And based on the conclusion that have been described in the result of the study, is that distribution in the study archeologues suggests that KTMP improve the skill of employee and value sector through the implementation of comprehensive and sustainable training programs. And to KTMP improve employee competence by conducting competency certification that meet national standard, because it can be additional selling point for the company. If it's seen that there are still not many companies that have a professional certification from C. And the last suggests to KTIP can increase employee motivation not only with incentive or compensation, but employee who have good performance and have good competence can have the opportunity to the same career development with discrimination, so that employee can be triggered to carry out to the best work possible that can improve the performance employee. And finally, I hope that information I shared today will inspire further research and discussion on the subject. Thank you and good morning.